And welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Avery and today's video is going to be kind of different because I'm thinking a lot about my job. If you have watched any of my previous videos in the past 10 to 12 months, you have probably heard me in some various form or iteration complaining about my job, being depressed about my job, or just not having a positive experience at my job. All that to be said, these past month or so, I have been seriously considering some different options that may be available for me or exploring how I could potentially live if I was working part-time and then working on my interests and opportunities on the side. That's what's culminated. All of that is I feel like I'm not using that word right. It's culminated into today's video. So today's video, I'm going to be making a practice or like kind of a dummy budget in YNAB. I use the budgeting software YNAB Budget. If you want to try it, there's a 34-day free trial link down below. But what you can do in YNAB is you can create different budgets depending on your situation. There's legitimate uses to this in the sense that, like, say you are taking care of someone and they have like their own finances, you could make a separate budget for that. Or it's just what I'm doing, which is running through the different possibilities of my life. So I'm going to click on this drop down arrow in the top left corner and click new budget. And I'm going to do if I were part-time. It's just what I'm going to call it. I'm not going to change anything else, and I'm just going to hit create budget. So this basically starts me back over with the standard YNAB setup. So let's just go ahead and go through this and try using what I can remember and my current budget and just come up with an idea of how much money I actually need if I want to be part-time. Like, what is the minimum amount I need to take home in order to cover all of my basic living expenses? Okay. So the first thing would be my rent / my mortgage. So I don't have a house, I rent somewhere, and my current rent is $672.50. So let's go ahead and start with creating a target for that. And then once I create all these targets, it's going to tell me on the side how much I'm underfunded by, which will effectively tell me how much I actually need for this lifestyle. For electric, I don't need this category because it's included in my rent, so I'm going to delete it. Same thing with water. Internet is $40 for my share, so I'm going to do 40. I'm not going to worry about when these are needed by, simply because, again, this is kind of a mock budget setup to see what's possible and what I could potentially be looking for income-wise if I decide to go part-time. My cell phone bill is currently $37, but I do want to bump it up to the unlimited plan, so I'm going to create this, and I believe it's about 40 bucks. But just to be safe, actually, let's round it up to 50. The hardest part about like creating a part-time job budget or a budget that I would be on if I was part-time is really figuring out like my miscellaneous, or like, what is that word? Just my non-essential spending, or the spending I have control over, such as like my groceries, eating out, things like that. I really need to figure out a way to just reel it in, because it's not that I don't think I have an unrealistic budget right now as far as my groceries go or food spending, but I find that I'm overspending it a lot. And I think it's because of a lack of discipline that is connected to my job. So if you are just depressed like I am, you may find yourself doing some emotional spending or emotional eating that causes this to be a problem. So that's why I think I'm always constantly going over budget on my groceries and just food in general. But I think if I put myself in a different working situation, I actually won't be overspending as often. So that's kind of where I'm at with that. And that's kind of where my thoughts are with this. So my groceries, I'm probably thinking about $40 or $50 a week. So let's go high. I'm going to set this to monthly. Make sure this is right. Yeah, these targets are monthly, and then the grocery target is I'm gonna make it maybe weekly, and we'll do $50 a week. So it should, if I expand this, no, that didn't work. Let me update it. I'll edit it to $200 for the month. So there's that. Dining out. This is really hard because I think I would spend more time outside of the house just to keep myself, semi-connected to society if I worked part-time. So I'm going to put dining out slash coffee. And let's think about this in some sort of logical way. So if I get coffee twice a week, that's about $10 to $12 with the way costs are nowadays. So about $12 a week. And then if I'm eating out once a week, that could be anywhere from like 10 to $30. So it would probably be $50 weekly would be a good goal, but I don't know if I'd have that much money. But like, let me just put everything in here, and then if I think I need to cut back, I will. So let's also say $200 a month on dining out, because I also want to make sure I am just like staying connected and not just staying at home all the time when I'm not working. When I'm saying part-time, I'm kind of defining it by like 20 to 30 hours a week. So it's not full-time work. Probably should have said that at the beginning. Sorry. But if I could work less hours, that would be good. But obviously, I would need to have a higher hourly rate in order to make that work. So I may end up working more hours. It really just depends and see what my options are. Transportation is pretty straightforward. I typically fill up twice a month, typically. And then I usually spend about $10 to $20 on parking. So $100 has been pretty good for me for the past few while. Home maintenance, I don't need this category. I'm going to delete it. Auto maintenance, I do have a car. I probably would downsize how much I would do. So $25. Let's see. How do I do this? If it would let me click, that would be very helpful, but apparently not. Let me refresh the screen. Get rid of YNAB support. So auto maintenance, I need more than $25 in there. I want to do $25 monthly. So is that a thing? I think we'll just do... Is it needed for spending? I have not created a new budget in so long, so I forget everything. But I think $25 a month is what I'd want. And then for gifts, this is not super necessary. I mean, obviously I still buy gifts if I was working part-time, but I probably would not be as extravagant with them. Not that I'm super extravagant now, but let's put that there. And then same thing in the non-monthly. Let's do a Christmas category just to keep that in mind. And let's do $40 a month. Because $40 times 12, about $480. What is 500 divided by 12? I'd probably downsize how much I spend on Christmas if I was working part-time. And honestly, as I get older, I find that I don't care too much about giving or receiving Christmas gifts. So I'm trying to just get everyone else in my life on board with that. And we can spend more time just like having a nice dinner together. I would much prefer that. We delete home improvement. Vacation, let's skip it for now. Education, so I think if I was working part-time, I would still want some money to invest or like put some money into investing into my like quality of life. So I'm very much a person that values lifelong learning. So education stuff like that, maybe some hobby classes like art classes, things where I'm still like getting some sort of value and experience out of my life. And it's not like I'm just completely deprived or doing nothing for half of the typical work week. I guess this might be a good time to explain why I want to work part-time. It's hard to like describe without getting emotional, but in general, And like, I don't want people to hear this and just think like, what is she talking about? Like, this is the problem that everyone faces in this country or in society. And like, I understand that, but like, it's really just taking a toll on me. Like, I need some sort of break in my life. I'm not saying like, oh, I'm going to work part-time for the rest of my life. But in general, I think if I could, I would prefer that immensely. And then so if I worked about 25 to 30 hours a week, I could take the other 10 to 15 hours that I'm not spending working, that I used to be spending working or getting ready for work and preparing to go to work and leave work and decompress from work, because that takes up a lot of time. I would take that time and just actually invest in the hobbies that I care about. Like, I've always wanted to explore my writing further. Like, I feel like I've had a mental block ever since I've graduated from college that I can't move past. And I think part of the issue is just being so drained from the daily existence of working a full-time job. That's one thing. What's the other thing? Oh, I really do value and enjoy like helping people with their finances. So if there was a way I could like make that like some sort of career for me, or some sort of like career option for me, and there's many ways that could look. Like, maybe I study to become a certified financial planner, maybe I work on YouTube and become more of a budget coach, like things that I feel like I can't currently consider or explore because I'm too busy working. And on top of that, with a chronic health condition, it just makes it even harder. Like, I'm very fatigued all the time, and I just don't know like if long term I can keep up with the pace that I'm currently going at in life, if that makes sense. So that's kind of where I'm at with it. And like, me and my boyfriend have been talking a lot about our long-term goals together, and like how we can find a way to like create a life for ourselves that's both, one, sustainable financially. Like, it's not that I can't just not work, it's not feasible, but two, it's what was I going to say? Sustainable financially, and just works for us. Like, it's gonna be something that we can handle and we can work on together. So a lot of conversations and just feelings of burnout and depression have really led me to this point where I'm just thinking like, how much longer do I want to keep going at the current pace that I'm at? And if I don't start considering like how I can move past this or move on to something different, I'm never going to get to that point. You know what I mean? So that's kind of where I'm at with it. So education, let's put like, I think I called it the Avery Improvement Fund once. So I'm going to put that back on here. So Avery Improvement Fund. Hobbies, entertainment, health, and wellness. I don't think I need like a million different categories, but let's skip down to health and wellness and put in 119. And that is for my spin membership. I do have the option to downgrade this, and I may consider that if I was working and making less money. But I think like having good health is very important, or just taking care of yourself in the best way that you can is very important. So, and it also gets me out of the house, and there's just many different reasons why it's beneficial to have like some sort of exercise, whether it's more like going to the gym on your own time or doing fitness classes, that really is beneficial to your overall life well-being. So $119 for that. I want to go back up to the non-monthly expenses and make a new category and call it medical, because since I do have chronic health issues, I definitely need to put money in here each month. So $100. I think hobbies and entertainment can be combined into one category maybe. So let's put, I like to just use fun money as a category, and let's try for $50 a month. And then entertainment, I will delete that category. So as it stands now, and then I also need to do one bills. Let's put under bills, and it's my student loan payment. I'm on a income-based repayment plan, so if I was making less money, I would probably pay less, but for it stands now, it's $68.57. So according to this, let's go ahead and go back to my other budget and just make sure I'm not missing anything. Any sort of monthly bills that I have to pay for, which I think I am. what's really difficult is like I might be able to create a budget that has like a lowish like minimum amount required to like be alive, but it doesn't always account for some expenses that I aren't like on a what's it called? A monthly basis. Like I already realized I forgot. Let's look. So I'm forgetting things like renter's insurance or household. What else? Car insurance, definitely need something for that. Bike supplies, no. Hide that category. We already did medical. At some point, therapy is going to be back in the equation, but maybe I can lump it into the medical fund. Spotify. Yeah, so my subscriptions, I need to make sure I think about that. No longer caring about AAA membership. The credit card annual fee. I'm just looking through and thinking here. Okay, so I still have a couple things I'm missing. So let's add those into there here. So bills, car insurance is about it's about $82 a month. So $82 monthly. And then what else? I already forget. Subscriptions. So subs and dues. Or just subs. Let's keep this short and to the point. So subscriptions, I'm currently doing about $30. And then you see how it adds up like so quickly. Like there's probably ways I can decrease this, but other things like I can't really take down my rent, can't take down car insurance, internet. You're kind of limited to a couple providers. Cell phone, I could explore Mint Mobile, but that's like $30 difference maybe. I definitely could rein it in on dining out. Gas is what it is. You can't change anything about that. Can't change anything about medical. Yeah, so it's just this is what makes it kind of interesting. So you kind of run into a bind where you just realize maybe you have to work a full-time job, which is the most depressing sentence in the world because is this really what we're meant to be doing on this earth? I don't know. Let's see. What else am I missing? I'm missing subscriptions. Okay, that's $30 like I said. Credit card annual fee. That's a big one. That's like $22. We're kind of rounding here just to get a general idea. I'll create a target for this of $22. So I'm at $1,821.07. Part of me wonders, instead of making a Christmas category, I make like, no, let's keep it like this for now. Because Christmas, I know there's never going to be a scenario where I don't spend any money on Christmas. So I should keep it as a dedicated category. In this scenario, I don't really have money for a vacation, but in general, would I really need money for a vacation if I'm enjoying? I mean, I never say never, but I felt like I was going on a lot of vacations just simply to escape my current setup in life. So like my current work environment. So like, would I really be going on a vacation as much if I'm enjoying like my day-to-day life as much, or if I'm enjoying it a lot more? You see what I'm saying? I'd probably want to put $100 a month into the Avery Improvement Fund just for ongoing learning. I could decrease this down to $59 a month, so I only go 4 times a month, so that might be a good option. What else can I decrease? Something that me and my boyfriend have talked about is if he gets a higher paying job, I could pay less towards rent. So maybe I only pay $500 towards rent. So that's kind of one of the, fortunately and unfortunately, one of the benefits of budgeting with a partner or just having a partner where you work in tandem with your financial goals. where it's like, it's nice if you have that, but it's like really much harder if you don't, because you have to pay for everything yourself. You see what I'm saying? So I can't lower the car insurance. Cell phone, how much is Mint Mobile nowadays? I could lower that. So let's just look at the plans. They all say $15 a month. What is the joke? They've all gone down to $15 a month. So maybe I should change it now, to be honest. Let's see what the 6 and 12-month plans are. 6-month plan, 12-month plan. So if I could reduce this down, let's just do $30. Reduce it down to $30. Can I get rid of any of my subscriptions? Let me think about what they are. So I have Apple Care. I don't want to get rid of those because they protect expensive pieces of technology, which I think would be even more important to protect if I was making less money, because I would have less money to replace those. Groceries, $200. I honestly probably could drop this down to $180. Just being honest, I know price of groceries are really high. Dining out / coffee, there's different ways to get outside of the house that doesn't require like going somewhere and spending money. You could go to the library and hang out there. I could volunteer more, because currently I'm doing no volunteering, which is terrible, but like it's just, I run out of time throughout the day. So maybe if I had about $35 a week, so what's 35 times 4? $140. So let's just round up to 150. Transportation is what it is. Medical is what it is. Auto maintenance, I probably should keep it as such. Gifts, Avery Improvement Fund. In this scenario, I'm not putting any money in my Roth IRA. Is that something I really want? No, I would like to keep investing at some point. So maybe I put Roth IRA back on here, and I put it at $50 a month. So not nothing, but not as much as I could probably do currently. And then maybe I bump up the fun category up to 75, because let's just be realistic. And maybe I create a stuff I forgot to budget for, because this budget is kind of like less thorough or less detailed, because the money has to be more flexible. And maybe I put $50 in there. So now I'm at $1,623. Is it workable? Is it feasible? So that's kind of where I'm stuck. Like, I don't know. I would need to bring home at least this much money to cover this current lifestyle that I've outlined in this budget. Is this the kind of lifestyle I want? Would it make me happier? Like, I don't know. Could I keep cutting back on certain things? Sure. But after a while, it's like you still need to find a way to enjoy your life. And it's like you don't want to take away the one thing that like really brings you a lot of joy in your current life. You see what I'm saying? So I don't know. If you have any like suggestions or tips, or just like if you've ever dealt with a fork in the road, what you've done with it, let me know down in the comments, because I'm truly just I'm turning this thought over in my mind over and over and over and over again. And like at some point I need to take some sort of action, even if the action is I do nothing. So I don't know. If I go back to my budget, I haven't accounted for a pet. Like, I have a dog now, so I need to go back and put that in some sort of category. Maybe the non-monthly. So I put CC, that's my dog's name, and I probably need to put at least $100 in here every month. So I'll do that. So it takes me up to $1,723. If I check my other budget again, or like my current budget, I'm in this scenario, I would not be doing any doggy daycare because I'm working less hours, so I wouldn't really need it. So that's fine. So that's a way to save money. I don't know where renter's insurance money would come from. I would just have to like I'd have to like make. So when I say I'm like creating a budget for part-time employment, in this ideal world, I'm bringing in enough money to cover my basic expenses. And then in certain ways, I'm like, whether I'm working on trying to create my own business or I'm trying to just do extra work on the side, maybe I want to try freelancing, ways that I can earn extra income, that would help contribute to more of my quality of life goals, like going on vacation, things like that. So it's something to keep in mind. Am I missing anything? My credit card. See, haircut would probably just have to come out of stuff I forgot to budget for, or fund money, things like that. Gifts could come out of fund money, just a consideration. Roth IRA. Health, beauty, and clothing, I don't know. That would probably be something if I brought in extra income in some way, I would bring that in. All of this falls under fund money as far as I'm concerned. They're just not a monthly reoccurrence. So yeah, I think I've more or less covered everything I want to cover in this part-time budget. So about $1,700 is what I would need. So if I was working a job making $20, multiply it by 25 hours a week, multiply it by 4, and then take off some money for, oops, did that wrong. Try this again. Multiply it by 4, since there's generally 4 weeks in a month. Of course, that's not 100% accurate. And then take off some money off the top. So I'd be bringing in, if I worked $20 an hour at 25 hours a week, I really had to think that one through. I'd probably take home closer to, let's see, after taxes and deductions, more like $1,600. So that doesn't cover it. So what about $20 at 30 hours a week? So $600 a week times 4, 2,400, multiplied by 0.8 brings in 1920. So that does bring in enough money with a little bit of wiggle room. Now there is this job I was kind of considering as a part-time barista, and it said you can make anywhere from $25 to $30 an hour. So $25 at $25. This is the biggest tongue twister in the world. So $25 an hour at 25 hours a week. It would be $625 a week. Multiply it by 4, then take off 20%, $2,000, and that would still give me 15 hours. There's a job I was considering where you would work $21.82. It was $21.82 an hour working at a library, and you get 20 hours a week. So if I multiply that out for a month, it would only bring in about $1,400 a month, and that would not cover my baseline level of expenses. So is that feasible? No, probably not. So I would need to find a way to make extra income. Would I enjoy that, or would I find that stressful? I don't know. It's something for me to find out. But I just know that, like, where I'm currently at, maybe the solution is I find a job that is full-time, making more money, or making the same amount of money, or maybe even less. But it's something that mentally I'm just in a way better space with. Maybe I like the work more. Maybe I deal less with people. I don't know. Because my current role is just, I don't mind the work. It's all of the nonsense surrounding it that really makes it really, really hard to just get anything done. And that's kind of demoralizing, really, because you kind of start and end every day with like, wow, I feel like I just got nowhere, except now I have more work to do and more people are mad at me about something that wasn't even my fault. So like, I don't know. Just some thoughts. But yeah, I'm probably just going to end the video here. Thank you for sticking around and listening to me just ramble on about mock budgeting life circumstances, life decisions, life paths, life this, life that, whatever it is I've been talking about for the last, I don't even know how long. Let me know if you have any like tips or advice. I am soliciting advice right now. I'm looking for advice. So, because I don't know. I really don't know, you know? But yeah, thank you all for watching. If you enjoyed this video, you can give it a thumbs up as it helps out my channel, I guess. And if you want to see more budgeting content and existential discussions about what I'm supposed to do with my life, you can subscribe and stick around. Otherwise, I will see you all in the next one. Bye now.